What's going on? Welcome everybody to the June 2022 Crystal Grid build with the Grid Master himself, Aaron Twist, and then your boy behind the camera, Chad Diamond Danburite, shining like a Danburite. And we are going to be going over building a grid for the strawberry full moon for June 2022, like I just said. And and it is in Sagittarius.
Before we get into all the stuff over here, let's take a little quick look.
Little tour
of what we got.
Let me go wide. Let me go wide angle so you can show them. All right, go ahead.
Before I had anything to really go on the table, I was just like makeshifting it with a bunch of fucking pillowcases. Really ghetto shit. But hey, now I actually have stuff.
What do we have?
This is a crocheted table cover thing. I don't exactly know what to call it. All I know is a friend of mine made it. And I love it when you get something unexpected and it's literally a perfect fit for what they had intended it for and what you would use it for. Like, look at this. Like, it's perfect. Like, it goes all the way around the edge.
Beautiful. You got some nice bright colors underneath to support the grid.
And then, you know, all the internal sacred geometry. And I actually went through and I counted everything. It's like the internal section here has 12 outer points with inner points matching. Mm-hmm. And then 24 going around the circle.
Oh, of course it does.
And it's like with grids and everything, being that I typically work in numbers of 3s, 4s, and 6s, like, beautiful. Right? So, like, there's going to be this underlying energy, like, from just, you know, the patterning connecting everything. I mean, it'd have been really cool if she, like, took a copper filament and, like, wove it inside, but that's going extra. And maybe I can do that later, you know? Get some of myself and just, like, wrap everything.
Right.
But it's like, this is going to be, like, an underlying pattern.
This is beautiful.
Right? Like, you've seen on, like, a lot of tapestries and stuff, like, you'll have, like, the Flower of Life, the Metatron's Cube, all those different, like, sacred geometry.
Yeah, the number 12 is pretty big in, like, numerology, going back in a lot of stuff.
Right?
So,
and those types of things, like, they're perfect to grid on. And you might not know it, but with the grids that I do, I am utilizing those as base patterns. So it's like you're not seeing the base design. And with this, even though, yes, I have something, putting crystals directly on top of it as of right now, if I use some smaller pieces, like, they might get lost in the color, especially since, you know, we'll be utilizing things like Herkimer Diamond today, which are rather small.
Yep.
So it's like we don't want to lose those.
So what is the solution?
You get a table cover. And the great thing about this is restaurant supply companies have all sizes and sorts of table covers. And
Nice.
Look at that.
It's leather too, you said, right?
It's a vinyl, which
A vinyl.
it makes it look like leather, which means easy cleanup. Like,
That's nice.
I could probably spill
That's nice,
wax
dude.
on here and like clean it off with no issue. Like, hells to the yeah.
And for all those people that have been following us, you know, since day one with these YouTube videos, yeah, like, this is probably the cleanest looking and, like, professionalist looking cover we've had on this so far.
Yeah, because even before we started filming and I was doing this, the things I was using was just covered in, like, ash resin and dust, and they were just dirty and grungy, and just like, okay, we got clean.
Yeah, so this is us leveling up, and we're going to level up the grid for you today too.
Right, and it's kind of be a little bit of a theme right now, because I take a look at the TV, I got a little bit of a phoenix going on over there. We actually have a stone being used today that's a conglomeration that's actually called or nicknamed the Phoenix Stone. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's just get this little guy planted on here so I can have that ready. And yeah, let's just take our first steps over here, see what we got to work with.
And this is the part where we go over the stones.
Exactly.
Dun dun dun.
See what we're working with. See what this energy is going to be like.
Show us what we got, sir. Show us what we got.
We're going to start back here. This is Malachite.
I love Malachite.
I actually haven't worked with this in a grid in a while.
We're gonna have maybe we should probably do a TikTok video on Malachite.
Probably.
because we haven't really done many greens. But
Yeah.
follow us on TikTok, guys, at Aaron Twist.
Yep. We have a little bit more fun there. Things go a little weird, but they're brief and short.
Yes.
This is
We dig
long.
deep. Yeah, we dig deep and build these grids for you, and with setting intentions out to there. TikTok is more Aaron having his famous rants and having fun. That's what it's about. And
Right.
dropping knowledge about these crystals and many other things too.
Right? Just sharing and using platforms that we have available to us.
All right.
Anywho's, with Malachite here, this is a copper calcium hydroxide. It's a very protective stone. It's good against evil eyes, evil spirits, anybody trying to do anything to you. It helps clean out the emotional body and any past life or childhood traumas. Helps you live life more intensely, as well as because it's a powerful energy conduit. That's because copper is great for all that.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have a little copper.
It mercilessly releases spiritual blocks and outworn patterns, teaching you the responsibility of your own thoughts, feelings, and actions.
Oh yeah. Little that inner voice in my head, Chad. He likes to not to take responsibility. Oh, outer Chad, me Chad, doesn't like to take responsibility for inner Chad's thoughts. I know that. So.
Right. And a lot of times, our biggest obstacles are ourselves. Right.
Preach.
And it's a very strong earth energy and helps to connect to other worlds, both inner and outer.
Beautiful.
And then, right next to it, we got Azurite, which is another copper silicate, or copper hydroxide, I should say. This one is a great guide to psychic development and increasing one's metaphysical powers. The Egyptians used it to help raise their consciousness to the highest levels. It's a very powerful energy conduit again, and it helps to understand the effect of the mind on the body.
Ooh.
Right? So you can see how that
Yeah, I can definitely see how that pairs.
with the Malachite here.
Well, especially with the Malachite, so you're saying that what were you saying, that it makes you think about
it gets your own personal blocks that are spiritual and mental that are preventing you from progressing,
right.
your self-doubts and everything.
Okay, so now it makes sense pairing it with this, because this focuses on the body. So you got mind, body,
right,
all working together to align your mind, but where's the soul? Which rock is for the soul?
Well, okay.
You're the one that's connecting the dots in my head right now.
Right? And it's the copper helps to amplify the energy flow through the nervous system. It's a great mind and mental processor, changing your points of view on reality, enhancing perception in the senses, and gently bringing oneself back after a crisis.
Yeah.
So something happens, this can ease you back into the situation.
Yeah.
And I actually have a story about a guy who took one of these. It was a sphere this big and duct taped it to his forehead, and planned on taking a 15-minute nap, but ended up passing the fuck out. And as a result, he could smell his brother down the hall. He knew it was his brother coming home out of the couple other people he lived with, simply because he could smell him. Didn't hear,
that's crazy.
Didn't matter what he heard or saw, he smelled it. This guy has allergies. He could smell his brother. That's insane.
That's crazy.
Just having your sense of perception being heightened to that level. That's why it's really tricky when you're working with Azurite to use it for just a little bit of time, because it does amplify how you're perceiving everything.
I'd pay good money to see somebody duct tape some Azurite to their head.
Right.
What else we got?
And then this over here, you're talking about that soul aspect.
Yeah.
This is called Phoenix Stone.
Phoenix.
It is Azurite and Malachite inside of quartz.
So it's this.
So you've got...
And this.
It's the heart body, the mind body, and then you have it in quartz, which will be the spiritual
encased
body.
in quartz.
Right? So you got your mind, body, soul.
Wow.
Right there.
And quartz amplifies shit, right? So.
Exactly. And it's like I haven't done really much into that, but just by surmising what I know about Azurite and Malachite, it's like,
so you're basically just turning up the dial
yeah, it's
with
like
that.
you're
piece.
going through and being like, okay, it's a powerful energy conduit on both sides, so it's going to be an even more powerful conduit. It helps work with the spiritual path by getting rid of blocks and help you focus on it. It helps you balance your.
Said that with some.
Like it releases your fears from both ancient and current, removing the debris that they leave behind, while at the same time cleansing all of those your emotional and physical body of all of those traumatic attachments. So it's like,
wow,
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, right there.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Exactly. And then we're gonna take a little step down here.
Okay.
We got Morganite, which is a very high heart and heart thick stone. It's a love attractor. Like where most of the times you'll see a heart stone, or a high heart stone is talking about it's unconditional love, and it's like anything like that, like where it's like more of an expression of love. Morganite is pulling it in. So it's like it's pulling in like potential relationships. It's helping to bring in more loving thoughts and actions, both from you and from others.
Interesting.
Right?
A lot of ites going on here.
Right?
In this grid so far.
And this also helps you to recognize escape tactics, closed-mindedness, or ego spirit blocks to spiritual growth by ego. So you can see how that's kind of playing in with the Azurite Malachite by saying, okay, what's in our way? And on the different levels, because it's like, am I being closed-minded about something? Am I being egoical about this situation? Am I just avoiding it altogether? Because how you're doing those certain things will affect how you approach it.
I like that.
Because you're not going to use the same techniques on different types of problems.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't. It's a different solution for every problem.
Yeah,
right?
it's like you can use the same techniques. It's just you're not going to get there at the same speed. It probably won't feel as great. It'll be a little bit more rocky.
Yeah.
It could be more intense. Like
you could be a psychopath,
right? Causing a healing crisis. Like people don't understand the intensity behind a healing crisis. Like it literally goes from takes you from being spiritual and very open-minded and like connected to being in straight psychosis. Like that's the intensity of a healing crisis. It sucks.
Yes, sir.
Right? And it's like the Morganite also helps you to bring awareness to unfulfilled emotions and soul needs. It stabilizes those emotions, especially during psychosomatic change. So again, this is another one that during a type of trauma or even growth, as you're growing and changing on all types of levels, going about it stably and smoothly makes it so much better.
That's what I was going to say. So Morganite is kind of a stabilizer.
Right? It stabilizes, even though it's like it's pulling in really hard, because why it does all of this is because its main purpose is it opens up the heart to receive unconditional love from all sources. And it's keeping in mind, just because you're receiving unconditional love doesn't mean that that thing loves you. Right? Those are two different types of love.
Yeah, the thought of like a ship when you're talking about stabilizing with this, maybe I'm wrong, but this is the visual I just got, was like a ship in the sea, and you get into a storm and you're in those fucking rocky waters, and then finally you stabilize.
Yeah.
You know, and you got all that shit you're pulling in, all the nature that's coming at you, the nature of life, and then boom, you finally calm waters.
Right.
Does that make sense or no?
Kind of, because it's like it's while you're in that ship in those rocky waters, like you're also seeing other ships doing similar things.
Okay.
And it's like paying attention to where we're all going, because it's like some of those ships might be allies and friends, and you know, if you're able to help each other and get through the storm, do it. Whereas like some of those ships, those might be pirate ships.
Yep.
You know, they might be there and like seize an opportunity amongst the chaos, because that can happen.
Yeah, it's part of life.
It's like, even though love is this great and wonderful vibration, there are a lot of people who have learned to use that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Preach.
And this is where this next stone comes in.
Real quick, though, before we go to the next stone, I did
sir.
want to say, because Morganite was talking about ego, and I've actually recently trying to learn how to stabilize my ego. So I just gave my ego a name. Would you guys like to hear the name of my ego? I think they would. So I now call my ego Brad, and I'm Chad. So when my ego gets out of control, I'll be like, yo, Brad, shut the fuck up. So I recommend naming your ego. Aaron, I don't know what the hell you would name yours. But Chad and Brad. It'd be cool if you had something that rhymed with Aaron.
I mean, you remember when I talked about having a separate name to give the Fae?
Mm-hmm.
Like a name you give people that don't know you?
Mm-hmm.
You could essentially utilize that name.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you want to give somebody your name without actually letting them know who you are.
Yeah.
Which is a very egoical thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Use that name.
Or it's like a girl giving you the wrong phone number when the man's hitting on them.
Right? And it's like, for me, that's exile.
Yep.
Right? And and that actually makes a lot of sense because my ego forces me to exile myself.
Yep.
Because he's a proud ass motherfucker that thinks people are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I can acknowledge
I
it.
like your awareness around it.
Right?
All right, what
so
we got?
next, we're going over here after your little namesake, sir. This is Danburite.
Woo!
Right? And my perception of Danburite is it is your higher self in a stone. Right?
Chad Dumb and Danburite. Beautiful.
So it's a high vibrational stone carrying the vibration of lucid dreaming. So if you want to do some dream work, this is the stone to work with. I've had some really intense shit on that before.
I'll have to put a Danburite in my pillow tonight.
No, it's great. It's a healer for the heart, activating intellect and the higher consciousness. It links into the celestial realms and serenity and internal wisdom. It helps to facilitate deep change, leaving the past behind, going back to like letting go of outgrown patterns, anything that's holding you back, anything that's not working, slowing you down. It reduces excessive spontaneity.
Wait, it reduces it?
Yeah, those who are
the people that are too spontaneous.
Yeah, if
okay.
you're too spontaneous, it reduces it down, helping one to learn patience and peace.
Okay. I thought it was gonna say like I'm just gonna kill. It just kills spontaneous.
No.
The word that you're trying to say.
Calms it down.
Okay.
It's a karmic cleanser, releasing miasms and mental imperatives. So again, it's getting rid of those outgrown old patterns. It has a Buddha crystal configuration, which helps to bring in enlightenment and bring love into realization.
Nice. What else we got?
Right. So like when I say it's like your higher self in a stone, that like with all that in mind, it's basically that most altruistic, powerful, all-seeing self looking at your situation and being like, okay, let's bring this in, let's keep that away.
Nice.
And if
whatever you need in that moment, most likely, bro.
And with that in mind, depending on how you're playing around with things, your higher self might bring in something that's gonna teach you a lesson. Like
God knows that's
what
true.
I learned because this little fucker here, you want to zoom in on her. This is Danburite and Morganite
it's a beauty.
in a tool. It is so fast and powerful, and it brought my ex to me. And that was a very intense, wild ride and a much needed lesson. And I'm hoping I've learned it because goddamn, that was not fun. So I'm hoping with the combination of everything we got going on today, it'll calm down that, karmic teacher aspect of it and kind of like make it a little less.
But I thought you enjoyed swimming with chaotic women.
Yeah, it's like chaotic, not psychotic. There's a difference.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then to help with that, we all come down here. This is Larimar.
Which one? These little blue
little
ones?
blue
Oh, these are all
guys.
Larimar?
Yeah, this
okay.
is all Larimar. It's only found in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
When I work with it, to me, it just feels like Caribbean turquoise. Like it's got that similar color to it. It's very nurturing. It radiates love while restoring strength, especially after like intense spiritual work. So if you're a spiritual healer, having Larimar around is a great way for you to like rest and recover after a hard session. It harmonizes the body and soul to new vibrations. It's great to induce a meditative state to guide you on a spiritual path. Releases self-sabotage, self-imposed bonds, and inappropriate burdens and attached entities.
Nice.
So like back to that, like getting rid of all those things that aren't helpful, like all these old ideas, beliefs, people, things that are holding you back, slowing you down, like feeding off of you instead of feeding you.
Yeah, that computer code that's basically stuck in your system that you need an update. You need to update the software.
Exactly. You need to update.
Excuse me. Holy crap, guys. My throat chakra's closing up as I'm about to say this. But, Aaron, would it be safe to say that this month's grid is about updating our software? In a way.
In a way, because what is a phoenix but something that every time it dies, it goes through an update? It is never the same thing every time it is reborn.
Damn.
It is slightly bigger. It is a slightly different color. The way it moves and thinks and acts is different, right?
I like to consider myself a phoenix, but not necessarily like this phoenix, a bird, but I'm more like a Pegasus. So like a what? Because I got a connection with horses, like a white horse with the phoenix wings. So picture a Pegasus, but on fire like that.
A burning Pegasus.
A burning Pegasus. That's me.
I see it. I like it. But yeah, it's like so. Larimar helps to activate inner wisdom and manifestation while moving through stress and change. So, as you're going through change, be it good, bad, positive, negative, it'll help you to meet it with equanimity. So you're approaching it the same way no matter what the situation is.
Nice.
So you can actually do what you need to do because the end goal is what you're aiming for. And sometimes the path becomes rocky. Sometimes you got to do switchbacks. Sometimes you got to go down into a valley and come back the other end. Either way, you're going to approach it with the same level of patience and calm and understanding to know this is the path I need to take by trusting in your higher self.
Preach.
Right? And then the stone also helps to draw in a soulmate, but a soulmate that's there to help heal any relationship traumas or heart-related bonds and like issues where you've had with relationships. So with all this, like if you are working on drawing in a partner, a relationship that's intimate like that, hopefully the one that's being drawn in is one there that's not going to add to your traumas.
Yeah.
Because all too often we have relationships that might help in some ways, but they're adding in others.
Right. We're not supposed to, soul with a soulmate, you're not supposed to add to your traumas, but you can piss each other off because or not just piss each other off, but how am I trying to say this? Like with me and my wife, for example, I like the triggers that we have with each other helps us, each of us grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not like we're not adding on to each other's trauma.
Exactly, because you're taking those moments where a trigger happens
and learning from them.
And learning from it, like reapproaching it. It's like when it happens, like
thinking about it, communicating through it, like
right, or walking away for 5 minutes, coming back and be like, I was kind of a dick in that moment.
Well, years ago, I wouldn't have walked away. I just would have pointed fingers back and forth,
exactly.
Fucking yelled.
So it's like it's showing all of that growth and that change, and that like evolution.
Got you.
Like it's that you've already experienced that rebirth of what relationships should be.
Yep.
Sometimes they can go through another one, get to something bigger and better.
Yep.
And then last but not least, we go over here to these lovely Herkimer diamonds.
Shout out to Herkimer, New York.
Right? Gotta love it. Shout out. It's a soul retrieval and core soul healing. So it's like within our aura, like whenever we deal with trauma or discord or like any internal or external chaos, like our soul fractures, and it sends those issues out into our auric field.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's not within our core being. So what Herkimer Diamond's doing is taking those particular core, like those soul issues, and it draws them back in, puts it back to where it was inside of that soul, and then heals it. It heals that trauma. And it's also very shielding while it's doing this work, especially during like spiritual journeys, and doing any kind of attunements. It stimulates metaphysical abilities and linking into higher dimensions and again dreams. So again, you take this guy and this guy, you put that under your bed, you're gonna have a fun ass night.
All right.
Yeah. And then of course we got some Kaina in case I need some extra bridging and connection happening. And then to go into the middle, we are going to be utilizing Spirit Quartz, just to have something to send that energy up and out, and it's nice and soft and gentle, and it's hopefully not going to cause the potential chaos to rock it. Because even though this is very like positive in energy and what it's working towards, it's also working with a lot of karmic healing and like release and getting rid of anything that's not helping and not serving and not giving a purpose. Right? And it's like, and for some people that can be a lot, especially if there's a lot of things that we're holding on to and living in situations that aren't good for us, but can't, or aren't making the right decisions to get out or change it.
Word.
Right? So let us get started in this grid building.
Just wanted to say, guys, I'm sorry I have to keep clearing my throat, but it's freaking something going on with it right now, so I apologize about that. And also, Aaron's about to call in the directions, but just want you to know, make sure that you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and drop a comment below. We'd appreciate it. If you have any questions, email chaosgrid@gmail.com. Aaron.
I'm going to start with the east of new beginnings, of ancient wisdom, the ever seeking pursuit of knowledge, to all the things that fly in the skies and buzz along the ground, from the greatest of eagles to the smallest of insects, to all celestial, angelic beings that guide us from above. We welcome you.
Welcome.
Bring you into the circle. And then to the south, to the phoenix's flame, to that internal fire that fuels us, to the light beyond that guides us and shows us our way, to that internal fuel of creativity, passion, and sexuality. We welcome you in.
Welcome. Man, I can't get over how nice that tabletop looks right now.
It's so clean. The weird things of becoming an adult, what you appreciate.
Right.
Now to the earth, to the great mother that rebirths us all from our soil, to all creatures great and small that wander upon her surface, to the forests and fields that produce all the food, shelter, and oxygen we need to live, to all those who have come before us, who are here, who will come after. We welcome you in.
Welcome.
And to the north, to the great waters unknown, to the eternal depths of wisdom, the unrelenting emotion of the sea. To the ever-flowing depths that keep us moving, changing, shifting. We welcome you in.
Welcome. All right, y'all. It is time to build with the Gridmaster. Dun dun dun. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so as you guys can see, he is putting in what he likes to call the Vogel wands. Well, I guess that's, everybody calls them that because that's what they're actually called.
These are actually Vogel wands.
Vogel wands off the centerpiece. So while Aaron starts to build, sir, like, you know, let's keep it like short and concise, but full strawberry moon in Sagittarius for June 2022. I know you went over a lot, like some what the stones were about, but like if you had to sum it up in a sentence, what are people going to get out of this, especially the people that are on the grid that we add to the grid every month, but everybody out there on YouTube land in the world, what is your intention for this grid?
That's a good question.
Like, what do you want people to feel?
Well, for me, it's going to be a lot of balance, you know, it's going to be a very heartfelt and kind of things coming together kind of moment. Like, it's going to be a lot of new ideas coming forward. Like, it's basically going to have that great energy of like that beginning of summertime.
There you go. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's just like you're getting out there, you're going and doing stuff. Like spring has sprung.
Unless you're in the Pacific Northwest, which we haven't even really had a spring.
We've been in constant spring. Like all this rainfall. Like personally, I love it.
That is spring, but hardly any sun. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So it's like, and now it's like, okay, the rain's starting to
slow down a bit.
Slow down. The sun's coming out. It's warming up. We're getting ready to go out and explore, and experience.
I know. Give me a frickin' river or something. All right, here we go. Guys, as you know, like, this is an honor to be in the presence of Aaron when he builds his grids. I'm just going to say it because I don't think there's only one person can build a grid like Aaron does, and that's Aaron. And he always has solid attention and research behind his grids. And, it's an honor to be here.
Research behind these?
Have you seen his book, his Bible? He does. Right. That's what I'm saying. He does his research.
Okay. It's like, this is for this month, right? That's next month. That's the month after.
Yeah.
Here's September. I'm working on October right now. Oh wait, no, sorry, November, December.
Yeah.
And it's written down in another book, the predictions and estimations all the way up until next August during the blue moon is the last one that I have in my book.
Someday these books will basically be like the crystal Bibles of the past, you know. Well, I mean, when you start your cult.
Right? It's like, they're going to be the things that people use to be like, see, he does know what he's talking about. And I'm just like, actually, I am just slightly crazy. And, you know, people chose to listen, and I don't know why.
Man, this looks super clean with that tabletop cover.
Like,
it's beautiful.
Makes you want to eat off of it.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Man, I don't know what's going on today. My throat is like closing up big time.
No dying. It's not allowed.
Malachite. As you can see, the Iron Bear slowly rotates his rocks in 360 degrees. This is him in his natural habitat. That was my fake attempt at a Steve Irwin accent. The Iron Bear.
Iron Bear. Iron.
These little guys. Yeah, when I was holding that little guy in my hand, I felt it was very calming.
Mm-hmm.
It's that soulmate. The soulmate stone.
Yeah. It's very nice.
So how does Sagittarius come into play with this grid? What are Sagittarius is all about?
Ah, God, Sagittarius.
All I know is they're kind of flirty, right?
Yes, Sagittarius is a very fun, outgoing kind of energy.
Which would be good coming into the beginning of summer.
Yep. It's like that kind of spring awakening kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
They like to party and have a good time.
You got to flirt to get the squirt, you know?
That's one way to say it. But yeah. So it should hopefully make this time a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. A lot of that heaviness we've been feeling, hopefully that'll get alleviated. Because you remember last month that energy?
Yeah, that was pretty.
That
was pretty thick.
That was thick.
That shit was thick.
It was
That
dense.
shit was a bowl full of pancake mix. That's for sure. It was thick.
Mm-hmm.
And those pancakes didn't have chocolate chips in them. That's for fucking sure.
Seriously.
These little guys, beautiful.
You want to
Look
know
like
why? Because we had like 5 planets in Aries.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, not much was happening, and then it's like, we're doing all the shit! And it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Hey, not much going on. Then get fucking ready, like a drill
We're
sergeant.
gonna go hard! And no, it was more like a frat boy. I don't know
like
about
that.
you. That's just kind of how it felt to me.
Yeah, I could see a little frat boyish.
Right? It was just that like hardcore type energy, and it's like, I don't wanna. It's like I tried staying calm during it and minding my own, doing what I'm supposed to.
I mean, for myself, I feel like I've actually had like a lot of creative energy the last couple months and been like out in the community a lot, you know, performing and doing different types of shit.
Same here. Like you've seen my book.
Yeah, like your creativity went off the fucking rocker with all your
And
stuff.
most of it's like, I got nothing else to do. I might as well do this. And it's just like, okay, and we're gonna keep doing this and keep doing this and keep doing this.
Yeah,
It's like, Jesus Christ! Slow down, I wasn't ready. I did not consent.
all right, what will he do with these? These are what again?
Herkimers.
Oh, the Herkimers. Yeah, the big boys. Yeah. For some reason, when I think Herkimer, I always picture them little. You know what I mean? Because
Well, and then it's like with these 4, they're so very unique. Like, this is a Fenster Herkimer, which is, I can't remember what that means, but it's like, it's got all this internal action going on.
yeah, these are like the biggest
Right.
Herkimers I've seen.
This is a clay-included skeletal Herkimer. Like,
Yeah, that's dope.
this motherfucker goes straight to the solar plexus.
Oh, great.
This is a golden healer Herkimer, or a golden Herkimer. There's a little bit of that, like, iron staining on the inside. There was more on the outside, but that rubbed off over time. And then this guy here, this is an anhydro Herkimer.
That's beautiful. Get a little closer on that.
Right?
Yeah, that's a beauty.
And if you focus right there,
Yep, I got it.
there's a big old bubble that it's a little cold right now, but you hold this in your hand for a little bit.
Warm up quick.
Warm it up. Just let it do its thing. And I don't know if you can see, but it's like it's slowly moving because there's a water pocket inside.
That's cool.
Right. Put you guys over there. Put you over here.
That's cool as butter, baby.
Guess how many Herkimer diamonds are right there?
48.
That's how many I have in total, including the 4 on the table.
I got that right?
There's 44 over here.
Get the fuck out of
here.
Woo! Yeah. You guys seen it live. I literally just guessed his amount of Herkimer diamonds. Even though he said how many are there, I said 48, but there was 4 on the table, so and as I said that, it said 48 on my clock on this recording.
Fucking synchronicity.
48, baby. Yeah, if you guys are watching, do me a favor. I want you to Google 48, the number 48, or angel number 48, however you want to say it, the meaning, and post it in the comments and let me know.
Or just write 48 in the comments to let us know you got there.
Yep. Then we'll go back and check.
Yeah, we can look that up after we get through this. Because it's hard to record something on one phone, build something with the other person,
right,
and then look up on a third device.
Yes.
We only have 2 people.
What do you think the chances of that, though, of guessing the exact number in that moment? I mean, it's...
I don't know because I am rather impressed. Like, that doesn't happen very often. Like, I got you.
Oh, I'm glad I could impress you.
Really?
Thank you.
I threw that information into your brain and you said, hell yes, sir.
I just said, boom, 48. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
See, those are those little moments in life. You like when you get those synchronicities or just stuff like that happens. It's just, I know it's something little, just guessing a number, but to me that gives life like a magical feeling to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's something little, but it's not like I fucking cured cancer or something, you know?
Right.
But I don't know.
And it doesn't
That's
have
fun.
to be like
It's
that.
fun.
Exactly. It's all about the little moments, enjoying things, which is a very Sagittarian type energy because they are very much carefree like that and enjoy those simple aspects of
They're
life.
carefree. They're wide open.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I call Sagittarius Vegetarius.
Yeah.
Because they're wide open.
And as Chad was saying, this is what he's used to seeing when the people
the little guys.
Herkimer.
Yep.
Like that small, that perfect clarity, the little double terminated going on there.
Yep. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see these big boys.
Right, so I was like, that's a bit of a difference right there.
Yeah, for sure.
But the funny thing is, this guy costs as much as this guy.
Right.
And it's because of the clarity, where it's like, I like this guy more because he's funky.
Funky. Get funky. Get funky. You.
Let's grab these guys over here.
Oh, yeah. Look at these beauties. Aaron always using these to connect things. What are these again?
This is kyanite.
The kyanite, yep. Yeah.
It's a bridge.
Kyanites.
Connects energies together.
Yes. Kyanites, as you said, a bridge to connecting the energies together. I'm just going to keep repeating what you say so it's like I know what I'm talking about.
No,
You know? I mean... That's usually what a good co-host does.
Right. The host is as a host does.
Take this wide angle so you guys can see Aaron's hands and... Man, this looks clean on that new thing. I just can't get over it, bro. Like, I'm so hyped about the crochet underneath with the bright colors. So I feel like even with those bright colors, it's just giving it a good energy coming up through. You know, pretty much all the chakra colors. right?
Yeah, I think it's missing like orange
Oh, yeah, it's missing orange.
and red.
Or wait, was there orange? I thought there was orange in the...
Oh wait, yeah,
In the front part.
Those are hidden up top.
Yeah.
That's orange. Sticking things up.
Is that blue kyanite?
Yes.
Ooh, I'm learning.
I have green and orange and black kyanite as well.
Blue kyanite, he's just bridging it together even more.
Mm-hmm. Creating a little bubble, if you will. A little.
Have you ever seen the movie Bubble Boy?
Yes.
I don't think I ever watched it, but I just, for some reason, you said bubble and that popped in my head. Was it ridiculously stupid? You can be honest if you liked it.
Yes, it was dumb. But, you know, it was kind of like...
I feel like if movies are even done, you got to give them like a one-time watch. It's still cool, though, you know? Like,
yeah. It was like... To me, it was like a Pauly Shore level biodome type.
yeah, like, which is funny because when I was like a kid watching Pauly Shore, I thought that shit was hilarious. And I watch it now, I'm like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Right. Like, yeah, some things just don't hold up.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Not everything is forever.
Unless you're sacrificed and given legendary status.
Yeah, basically. It's like, you gotta either make people hate you a lot.
Or you gotta, like, die super young and be immortalized.
Right? In which either case,
Kurt Cobain.
most likely people still hate you.
Yeah.
Because-
Oh, you're gonna have love and hate you, but a lot of hate.
Right, what is like the hate will always exist because people are always jealous of what they don't have.
Yeah. This fucking life is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that looks beautiful from back here. Let me. Nice, dude. It's a cool angle. You got the doily underneath. Look at this guy. This piece of malachite would break hearts. What the fuck? What am I like? Our jargon back and forth kills me because, like, what the fuck am I even talking about? I'm just like, this piece of malachite will break hearts, and you don't say. I'm like, what does that even mean, dog? What does that even mean? I don't know.
You're the one saying it. Don't ask me.
I know, but you didn't even say anything back, so it's like, yeah, this.
I was still processing it.
the random. I don't know. It's just funny to me. The random.
Like, it just comes out as
this piece of malachite will break hearts.
and it's like I'm expected to have an answer. It's like
No, it's just.
I barely have an answer for half the shit I say. People get mad at me for it. Like seriously.
Yeah, I hear you. Ooh, that's a cool little piece right there.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Spirit quartz.
Would you mind pulling it out, kind of showing the camera? That bad boy.
One second, this guy. Oh, okay, that
That
works.
bad boy. It's got a little nice little shimmer to it. Oh, I'm trying to like hit the focus button on the thing. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. Spirit quartz, nice. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I do know that quartz amplifies stuff, so I'm guessing that's why it's there.
Yeah, and spirit quartz is a little unique. I don't have it on the top of my head.
That's okay. Take it to the books. It's all a learning
This
process.
is why the books are here. Spirit quartz. It's a high vibrational stone. It is a combination of quartz and druzy quartz. It carries unconditional love.
That goes right with it. You've been talking about that.
Facilitates a smooth transfer between beta and alpha brain waves to help get into a trance state. Heals the etheric blueprints and pinpoints significant karmic connections in the gifts or the justice in situations.
Mm.
It helps guide a soul through the different levels of the afterlife and helps welcome home those and welcome that soul home, as well as comforting the people left behind. It helps you to meet with your ancestors and do ancestral healing. It's good for those who are in service to others, facilitating insight into community and family discord. And it can help to cleanse other stones and transfer its energy into a healing layout and or stabilize earth energies. So we're basically adding that into the center here.
That's beautiful.
Right?
What a coincidence.
And I just pulled that one out of my ass today. Like, no reasoning, no nothing.
You know what else? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
I'll say, do you know what else? Why did you pull it out of your ass today? Then I'll go back.
I just felt like I needed something in the center to help push energy up, and I was like,
well, once again, trust your intuition, because you trusted your intuition and looked it up in a book, and it was perfect. But just like the color of this grid is very oceany, like the light blues and the greens and the whites, like, so, you know, letting that unconditional love flow in.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, like, when you're at the ocean and you're sitting there on the beach listening to the waves, or sitting by a river on the rocks, like, hearing that water flow in is very unconditional love feeling.
Oh,
peaceful.
yeah. It's just that pure inner peace state of mind, that calm, relaxed.
Calm, water, balance, like you said earlier.
Yep.
Ooh, pieces are coming together, y'all.
It's like it's done on purpose.
It's like it's done on purpose or something. The dude only has a mini Bible of grids built until 2028, and it's okay. I'm going to have to get you a new notebook for Christmas this year.
No, I don't think so.
Still got more room?
Oh, yeah, I got plenty of room.
Well, I'll get you a goddamn notebook if I want to, so shut up.
I mean, I won't argue. We're just going to get to a point where I'm going to have like 13 unused notebooks.
Well, you know I'm a notebook dude, and I got like 13 unused notebooks in my thing, plus like 10 of them full of shit. So it's like, I like giving notebooks as much as I like receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's beauty. As you can see, he's taking his time, making sure we don't fuck up our brand new vinyl top. Yeah, I mean, I think this grid's got me feeling really calm right now, guys. I just want you to know that as he's doing it, I'm looking at it. The smell of Apollo is always nice and appreciated. Yeah, very oceany vibe here, bro, with these colors. I didn't even think about it. What if you just laid it right? Will it lay on top there?
Oh, yeah. I'm just debating on where I want it, because I want that guy more center. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Look here, motherfucker.
You guys can go back a few TikTok videos back and see the little spirit doll of the grid go flying off the grid on its own. It's interesting. Yeah, it was an interesting grid. Was that a couple months ago?
I think so, yeah. And I was just sitting there filming, and all of a sudden I was like,
Yeah, I'm back in the mix. Oh, my brother Chopper from Kush Dog Farms just texted.
Let's get this going. It's gonna have to go like that. I didn't want it to go this way. Because that's gonna happen.
Woo! Unconditional love, babe. And the rocks fall down.
Don't you remember how one of these was talking about patience?
Yeah. Well, unconditional love can definitely be Rocky. Woo! Y'all like my puns? That's the thing. I bring the fucking silly, unconditional humor.
Which is always wanted and needed.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciated and respected.
Oh, here we go, y'all. Why don't you tell the people what you do with this guy again? I know that might have been a while since. I know we always seal the deal, but you have a couple different pendulums, right? What's the first one for again?
This one is just plain clear quartz. Basically, I am using it as a neutral to take all the individual energies that are going on here, even though I have them wrapped in a bundle to integrate for basically 2 months. Sometimes they're a little bit extra and could use a little bit of pulling together to help harmonize. But being that like with this one, they all work together in some way, shape, or form, he's probably going to kick on pretty quickly. Because I know if you've seen with some of the other grids, it might take it a minute to turn on. Or like, say in the center, there's a lot of different directions going on, and it's fighting to figure out which way is the right way to start. Whereas like this one's going to be fairly straightforward. And just start swinging right away. And as you can see, because this is a very much softer type energy, it's going right to where it needs to be without spinning out of control.
I can actually feel the energy spinning through my body right now, at where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Because that's also another thing this is helping to do, is it helps to push out that energy.
I don't know. I just got like a wave of like giggleness in me.
Mm-hmm. Because you got some way to that joy, that inner child type feeling.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. It reminds me like a couple years back, we were sitting here before we started doing the filming, and we were building. It was like you, me, my wife, and our friend Elizabeth. I don't know if you remember, and you were building it, and all of a sudden I was on the floor, started giggling, and I couldn't stop laughing for like a half an hour straight.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck? It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, because I was doing a triskelion type pattern. So 3 points going into spirals, and each of those 3 points was a different type of master healer. One was citrine, one was smoky quartz, and one was amethyst.
Yeah.
And
it had me...
If you remember, it had you giggling like a little fucking kid. It was hilarious.
I couldn't stop, and then everybody else started laughing because I was laughing.
Right, it is why you were sitting literally this far.
I was sitting right here,
right,
like on this
sitting
side,
right here, like this far away, right in front of the citrine spiral.
Yeah.
Then we had Beth over here on the couch, going in and out of consciousness, basically, because like she started like just like drifting out, and right there, what was it? Amethyst.
Mm-hmm.
And then your wife, who's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not seeing the similarities here.
She was looking at us like we were crazy.
Yeah, but how was having massive digestive issues.
Mm-hmm.
She was detoxing. Why? Smoky fucking quartz.
Yeah, that was a good night.
What am I doing? Just laughing and doing my own thing, because that's what I do.
Now
this guy here, this is Tourmaline.
Okay.
And it's a grounder. It's a stabilizer. It's another one to help ward off negative energies. And this has to ground all this very harmonized and balanced energy. And as a result, you can see it's kind of fast.
Yeah, it's a lot faster than that last one.
Right? Because it's doing something different. It's taking, instead of working on bridging stuff that's already bridged, so you know the flow's there, it's taking this like very harmonized, balanced energy and saying, okay, let's go up and down. And it's like it's pushing itself down, and it's like, oh, and it's going very smoothly, very like easily. It's not having to try. So I was like, and we're good.
Beautiful.
And then last but not least, I take a little bitty sunstone. I used to have moonstone, but the chain broke. And like,
Yeah, it was time to go to a different one, I guess.
yeah, this part here popped out. So it's like, it's not something that's easy to fix. Is this guy there?
Yeah.
So I just upped it to this guy. I have a couple other different pendulums that I can use if needed, but I like this one because it adds in a little bit more of a positive type energy. It helps to incorporate it on the positive side. So even though, I guess, there's a lot of karmic cleaning and healing and all that kind of trauma work, it'll make it a little bit less, a little bit nicer, a little bit softer, a little bit more pleasant. Because we need it. And not to mention, with this having that very ocean-like energy, who doesn't want a nice warm sun to go along with that? You know what I'm saying? You know?
Have you ever watched a show on Netflix called Lock and Key?
Yes.
So, for y'all that haven't seen it, they have like these magical keys, and this house is from the lineage of this family. And there's a key called the Anywhere key, where you can open up any door. You just have to Google a picture of a door in Costa Rica. So you put the key in the door in your house, and then it opens the door to that door in Costa Rica, and you can go. So when you said mentioned sunshine in your life, out of all those keys, I've decided, because there's a lot of cool keys that they have in that show, I would do the Anywhere key, because wouldn't it be cool to eat dinner and then just go to the beach in Costa Rica for an hour and chill? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or go to pick rocks in the mountains of the Himalayas or wherever
And I mean, if you know how to use that key right,
Mm-hmm.
you could literally time travel.
Right, and you could live off it. You don't have to worry about money or
Right.
nothing. You can get something to eat and then just go through the bathroom door to something else.
Right? Like literally relive the same day every single day, just by jumping to the right place at the right point in time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because even though it doesn't take you through time, it's like, okay, if it's 12 o'clock here, I'm going to jump to France or something, and it's like 8 o'clock there. So it's like, it's nighttime now. All right, so we're going to have a nice little meal, watch the sunset over the Eiffel Tower and all that shit. Then it's like, okay. Then you open a door, now you're in Hawaii. And it's like 30 or almost.
It's like a day behind, basically.
Basically, right?
And then you can go from there back to Paris a day ahead. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You just keep doing that back and forth, spend an hour or two in each area, and it's just like you're just staying in the same time.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yep.
But be careful, because then, time hunters will be after you. You don't want that shit.
We've all seen, we've all seen Loki and Back to the Future, and apparently in all these movies they say if you fuck with time, then shit might get fucked up. But I guess we'd have to experience that for ourselves. That's a whole nother topic. My arm's about to fall off, so we'll talk about that another time.
Right. So let's.
Seal the deal.
With a little recap. Just keep in mind, we're gonna be pulling in a lot of that love, relationship, soulmate type energy, and with this, it's not necessarily a soulmate, which as a singular word, where that's what a lot of the spiritual people tend to go and look for, but it's like, those soulmates are karmic teachers.
Mm-hmm.
They're here to teach you lessons, and you go through shit and see how you grow and you learn and you process. This is more so trying to help you find your soul's mate. Right? Because each of our individual souls, it's after they splintered and shattered and done all these things, but if you put it back together into that whole piece, and you go back to before any breaking happened, to when that soul was just solid and formed as itself, there was almost always a paired soul to that soul. And they are two separate beings, two separate entities. they do not complete each other. They balance each other. And each of these parts are separate, complete, functional units that at any given point in time are always giving 100% of themselves. And, you know, whenever you hear people do like sermons and stuff during weddings, it's like marriages and stuff are 50-50. It's like, no. A good relationship, a good marriage, a good anything is 100% from one side and 100% from the other side. Because that's both parts giving their all. And sometimes that 100% is only 20% of your maximum.
Yeah.
Or 10%, 50%. But when you show up with all of that percent.
So I could give 80% and the other person's giving 20%, but it's all their 20%
No.
is okay.
I'm saying, like, if you're at 80% and you're going into a situation, you're bringing that full 80%.
Got you.
The other person, say they're at like a 65, they're bringing that full 65.
Because that's all they can muster.
It's all they can muster. It's all they have. But between those two parts, so you're 80 and you're 65, you can create 100% of something. You can complete a task or whatever it is you're going to accomplish.
Okay, I feel you.
Right?
Yep, that's dope. I like that.
And then, you know, those days where it's like you're only bringing 20% and they're only bringing like 20%. That's that day where you sit on the couch, you don't do shit, you rest, you recharge, you self-care, and you do it together.
Preach.
Right?
Preach.
Right? Like, those are the relationships we're looking for.
I actually love those days.
Right? So that's that concept of, that's not a soulmate. That's a soul's mate. Okay? And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're seeking.
Words of wisdom from the Gridmaster, y'all. He knows what he's talking about.
Because, like, I'm a little tired of that soulmate shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm tired of lessons. I'm tired of, like, having to learn something and redo it and have somebody push it to its maximum just to, you know, push you to making the decision you don't want to make.
Yep.
But you have to.
Yeah.
Or instead it's like, why not have someone who's like, hey, like, say it's noticed that things aren't working and you're able to say things aren't really working the way they were. Let's either change things or move on. Like, that is what a soul's mate does. A soulmate is going to try and stick around because you've become so integrated into each other that, like, you can't see yourself without that other person. Right? Because, like, I probably talked about this before, but it's like, imagine letting your partner, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call them, letting them go on a 1-year sabbatical. Completely by themselves, or however they want to do it, with little to no communication for 1 year. Could you let your partner do that? Right?
Yeah. That's tough.
It's tough no matter what kind of relationship you're in. But if you're in that more of a soul's mate type relationship, you're willing to let that person go and do that thing because you know that thing is going to change them, evolve them, help them grow and expand in ways that by not doing it, they would regret not having that experience. Right. And it's like, would you rather them experience and then you deal with your own issues of abandonment while they're dealing with their other things?
Yeah.
Then and for have them come back this better version of themselves, or have them sit around regretting not taking an opportunity and having that turn into like a downward spiral of not taking chances on things that could like change your life.
Right. Well, there's also that possibility of like, you know, that person that's on the sabbatical is going to grow, but the person that's behind and left with abandonment issues is going to grow as well. So they might, when they come back together, it's not 100% that they're still going to be compatible either.
Right.
But a soul, what you're saying is an actual soul's mate, they do that for each other to grow, even if they become not compatible.
Right. Because it's not about completing the other person. It's
Got
getting
you.
the other person to complete themselves.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
Right? And
The
it's
Phoenix. The
it's
Phoenix.
that Phoenix energy, because like that's what you'd want to see. Like you'd want, like, for instance, say I finally get to go and take my trip to Peru and do those ayahuasca journeys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't come back with that rebirthed energy, like of being a completely new version of myself, like, what did you think something didn't quite go right? Because like if was able to take that opportunity, that experience, and have it, like I'd be purging to a level I've never done before.
Yeah, I mean, and who knows what would come up, because I've heard a
Right?
lot about ayahuasca. People have taken it 50 times, and it's different every time for them.
Right?
They say.
I was like, I don't recommend doing it that much. It's a little excessive. In my
Well, I
opinion.
might have jacked my number up. I don't
Right?
know. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying it could be different every time you do it.
Exactly, and it's like each time is like a rebirthing, and it's like that end result of where you come out may not necessarily be where you want to be, but it's where you should be going. And it's like, take in those experiences, let them happen, let that growth take its place.
Let it flow.
Let it flow. Now for Sir Chaddington's favorite part. The part that makes this not kid approved.
I mean, there's sometimes things are said that's not kid approved. Like earlier, me calling Sagittarius Vegetarius and stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. This is how you seal the grid. With plants. Plant smoke from Mother Earth. Ground it down. Nice. Ooh, that came off pretty good off that vinyl.
Right?
Yeah.
Nice and
All right, y'all. There it is. You just heard the last words from our brother, the Gridmaster, Mr. Aaron Twiss. We thank you for being here. Please leave a comment below. Let us know how we're doing. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Share the videos with your friends that are interested in full moon crystal grid builds. And if you want to actually be on the grid, which we add our people onto the grid. How many people are on there right about now, you
we're
said?
about at 45.
We're about at 45 people. If you want to be on the grid, you have a specific crystal in mind or anything like that, email the email in the description.
Yeah.
chaosgrids@gmail, and we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll let you know how I go about choosing who goes on here.
Yeah.
Especially since right now it's like I only have a limited space.
Yeah, so
Like
Aaron will feel into it, and we'll let you know. It's no disrespect either way, but...
Right? It's like, the vibe's got to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if you're watching this and you're at this point,
Then the
the vibe's there. So let's make something happen.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Peace out. Have a good life. Let's have a great month. And let's see what this brings in for us.
Happy summer
Happy
vibes.
summer.